like it's going.
Hey, did you know that it's October?
Oh my gosh, it's October?
The month of Halloween!
It's spoopy out here.
It is so spooky, and what better way to celebrate spookiness than the PSN Plus program to give us some spooky games?
Yes. Spooky
So here are the
games.
free games for October for free download starting today. Well, not today, a couple days ago, but you can download them today. Here they are. You can download for the PS4, for PS Plus, Friday the 13th, The Game, and Laser League. You can
Can you
also
download the movie too?
I mean, you could. It's not free.
It's
but
not free.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just checking.
For crossplay for PS4, you can download 2064 read-only memories and Rocket Birds. And, no, sorry, Rocket Birds 2 Evolution and The Bridge. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games you can download for PS4 this month. Available just for the PS3 is Master Reboot and The Bridge, and available just for PS Vita is 2064 read-only memories and Rocket Birds 2 Evolution. The Bridge is available also on PS Vita for crossplay.
That's a lot of things.
Yeah, it's a lot of things for PS4. It seems to be getting every title that's available for 3 and Vita, because it really feels like there are not a lot of titles left that were just made for the PS3 that were not eventually, ported over to 4. And that makes sense, because we're running out of time for PS3 and PS Vita to even be a PS Plus free giveaway anymore.
Right. When's that end? Like March or something?
Yeah, it ends. I have this written down actually. It ends on February 2019.
Okay. So
a little bit of time left.
Yeah, not that much time.
But I made a joke about it being October and spooky and all that stuff. But to be honest, there's really only one spooky title, and that's Friday the 13th. The game, which is something we've talked about on the show before when we played Dead by Daylight, which not spoilers, but it's similar gameplay. So it'll be exciting to go back into that world of an asymmetric multiplayer game. But well done.
What?
It'll be fun to go back and do another one of those asymmetric games. But one that'll be well done.
Oh, right. Asymmetric. That was fun, by the way. Asymmetric game.
And I think Friday the 13th will be really fun. I've certainly heard good things. It was very popular for a chunk of the gaming community. So we'll see how much fun we have with it.
Cool. So that's what's coming up for October.
For now, I will stop talking about those things and begin talking about a different thing. I'm Tony, aka Paradox, and I'm always joined by my co-host.
Hello, I am Lauren, and I am also known as Caustic Sofa. And we're the early 90s cinematic platforming gamers, and tonight we're trying to get one trophy in Another World, 20th Anniversary Edition. Welcome to our live Twitch viewers, and to everyone else watching later on YouTube, to 2 gamers, 1 trophy.
We'll get the timing right on that eventually.
Yeah, we're pros over here.
Professionals. Another World 20th Anniversary is an indie PS3 offering for September's 2018 PS Plus free downloads with crossplay for the PS4. We're still enjoying these crossplay titles from the last generation, while Sony is still giving to them as part of PS Plus, a service which again will end for the PS3 and PS Vita in February of 2019.
So even though it's been available for 20 years, tonight will be the first time I'm actually hands-on with this game. I give you my first live impression of Another World. What can you expect from the gameplay? Will this title be worth downloading? Stay tuned to find out. Meanwhile, Tony will be here with all the factoids and trivia, as well as being a resource to help me reach this episode's trophy challenge.
We here at 2 Gamers 1 Trophy don't just review all the free PS Plus titles each month. we like to add a little extra trophy challenge to our gameplay. Tonight we'll be doing a challenge we like to call a targeted trophy, which means I'm challenging Lauren to go after one specific trophy in the game. For this game, it's called Determination. The subtitle, I will succeed. 47.60% according to PSNProfiles.com, a trophy site aggregator for trophy hunters. It is an uncommon trophy. Once we get the targeted trophy, we have to be careful not to get any additional trophies before closing down the episode.
Yes, it's sometimes difficult. We invite all of our live viewers to join in the Twitch chat to let us know if you're playing along, or tell us your impressions of the game. And for those of you joining us later on YouTube, give us some internet cred. Like, subscribe, and comment. No more delay. We start the gameplay right now.
I know everyone is asking, is this, HDR compatible, 1080p, is the PS4 Pro really add an extra sort of pop to this? Good question. The answer is no, of course not. This is not that kind of game.
Sure, right. I mean, I like the aesthetic of it so far, but right, it doesn't, it's not that kind of thing.
Well, immediately you can bounce back and forth with the triangle button to the original graphics that were available back in 1993 for the console, and triangle will bring you right back to the remastered graphics as well. They're similar, really just pixelated from what I've noticed.
Sure.
But it's nice that the game not only provides you with sort of that original aesthetic, but also provides you with the original soundtrack. You can go back into the settings, and you can choose the original console soundtrack or the console soundtrack for the original music from the Amiga version or the remastered version, which is the default. I played around with them. To be honest, the original was a bit tinny. Very similar. I really feel that just doing it with the remastered version is going to be good enough to not only be not horrible to look at, but also to be representative of what it was back in the day.
Yeah, I actually really like this pixelation version.
I mean, you go for what you feel is the most authentic experience for you. So we're going through the original cinematic. There's not any spoken dialogue in the game, so I feel totally comfortable just talking over the intro here. And the music is pretty incidental, so this will be one of the few times that we actually allow the music to continue into the show. It shouldn't be a distraction here. I also don't want you to get discouraged because you will die a lot.
I don't really... Oh, I see. I was like, I don't really understand what's happening here.
While you figure out the initial controls here, and you sort of get used to just navigating with this character, I do want to quickly go through the timeline because it's extensive and interesting. This game was originally developed by Delphine Software, who were known for the Moto Racer series, and Interplay, which was known for the original Fallout, Earthworm Jim, and Baldur's Gate. So Interplay is a company I'm actually very familiar with, being a Fallout freak.
Sure.
They did the console version. The Removers, another development team, did the Atari Jaguar version. And this game was originally published by Delphine Software, US Gold, Interplay, and Virgin Interactive. Virgin Interactive was for the mobile port. Stay with me. It was published by the Digital Lounge, Focus Home, Interactive, and Head Up Games for this, the 20th anniversary of the game. The game was originally released in North America on November in 1991 for the Amiga and the Atari ST, the DOS version, Super Nintendo version, Sega Genesis version, and the Apple II GS version came out in 1992. The 3DO port came out in 1993. The mobile phone port came out in July 2004 up to 2006. The Windows XP version came out in 2006 and 2007. That was the 15th anniversary edition. And the 20th anniversary remaster release happened on September 22nd, 2011 for the iPhone and iPad. The 2012 was the Jaguar port, which originally was planned to be released in September of 1994. And March 2012 for the Android, April 4th, 2013 for the Steam and GOG ports, and finally, June 2014 for Xbox One, PS3, PS4, PS Vita, Wii U, Nintendo 3DS, and June 25th, 2018 for Nintendo Switch.
So, can I play it on my calculator?
You're playing it on your eyeball. This game is available on every conceivable platform, has been since '99.
Yeah, dear Lord, you basically you're just like you're just always playing this game. I think is like the long and short of it.
I feel like this game is the Forrest Gump of video games. It has been around through every historical era, and it's popped in, and you haven't really noticed it, but it's been there, and it's always been with us, and it's just part of our lexicon. So, those leeches are murdering you over and over and over again.
I see that. I need to like get better at the jump. Ah!
You actually... let me go through the controls with you. This may make it a little easier.
Okay.
Square and circle allow you to jump gaps.
Right.
Triangle changes the graphics. The up, left, down, and right buttons, which I recommend using the analog, not the stick.
Yeah, I have been.
Will allow you to go forward and backward and to crouch.
Oh,
and finally, X will allow you to jump. So you are.
No, X is kick.
Okay. X while moving a stick is kick.
Yes.
For this section, I recommend holding down and X. That should allow you to kick them from a pretty good distance.
No.
We're gonna go fast through this because the trophies here are a little interesting. Viewers will see why. I'm gonna quickly go through the PS description for this game. Also known as Out of This World, Another World is a pioneer action platformer that released across more than a dozen platforms since its debut in 1991. Along the years, it has attained cult status among critics and sophisticated gamers alike. An immersive adventure with unique storytelling. Another World chronicles the story of Lester Knight Chaikin, a young scientist hurled through space and time by a nuclear experiment that goes wrong. 20th Anniversary Edition is specifically designed for PlayStation 4 system, which I don't understand what that means because the edition has been around since before the PS4, but whatever. A remastered presentation, a joint effort between visionary game designer Eric Chahi and developer Marshall Hessel-Dreville, Another World is back for its 20th Anniversary Edition with full high-definition graphics faithful to the original design. 3 difficulties, easy, normal, and hard. Choose between remastered sound effects, original sound, and soundtrack. Switch between original full HD graphics, and of course, cross-save between PS4, PS Vita, and PS3. That does mean the trophy list is shared between all 3 versions. Don't bother downloading this game for all 3 systems. You only get 1 trophy list if that's the thing you like to do.
Okay.
So I see you've been stuck, and while I've been rambling, so here's what you gotta do. You gotta kick those leeches, like you do in the world, and then you run up to the bear-like creature, and instead of trying to confront him, immediately run backwards, all the way. Just run, backward, back. You'll see a vine, and that vine...
How do I run?
With the X button. Hold the X button while moving in your direction.
Oh, okay.
So, normally, when we play these games, we do, the tutorial level.
Yeah.
Back in the 90s, there was no such thing. It was, figure it out. If you don't, oh well.
Yeah.
So, there is not even a prompt that indicates, the button presses. In the main menu, you can find that sort of...
Okay.
But the game doesn't prompt you in any way.
Oh, I slowed down. That was so stupid. Yeah, like, it says, like, press action, but it doesn't say what button the action button is. I mean, I figured out that's X, obviously, because you're actioning. But it, like, doesn't tell you what the actions it does are?
Yeah. This game is truly a faithful original Amiga game. This is by far the oldest game that you and I have played. If you're not counting the fact that it's been remastered, I mean, this game has been available since the 90s. Did you ever play games in the 90s? What's your earliest sort of gaming experience?
Yeah, I mean, I played games in the 90s. I had a Game Boy or whatever, so, like, that, but, nothing like this.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this was just about the time that we were getting, maybe a couple years later we got a Nintendo, Super Nintendo, maybe a little bit before. It was about the time that I was beginning my gaming, and we didn't game on a computer. So for me, you know, I've never played this, I've never heard of this. This is brand new to me as well.
Right. Yeah. I've never I never even heard of it,
Yeah.
and I'm playing it.
But
So.
you know, yeah, yeah. But I mean, the designer Eric Chahi, who also designed Heart of Darkness in 1998 and From Dust in 2011, and composer Jean-Francois Freitas, both this was their creation. This was their whole world, and it took them a long time. It's an interesting development history, but I won't go too far into it. But essentially, you know, they had a hard time getting this game made. It took them many years. Two specifically for the original development cycle, and then getting it ported over and over again as the game kind of grew in its cult status. This game survived time, and it's unusual to have a game survive in its original context. I can think of a few examples of games like this. I mean, you think of, you know, the original games that then get turned into sequels and then get reimagined, and you know, they become totally different experiences. I mean, even look at Interplay's Fallout. It's completely different from what it was.
Sure.
This game is unique in that there was, you know, one sequel in the mid '90s, and that was it.
Oh man, I have to start over from here. It's funny. His name is Buddy,
Yeah,
and he's your buddy.
he is your buddy. I believe you got a trophy, didn't you?
Yes, I did get a trophy.
Okay. That trophy you got for escaping that section when you were going to pull it up. Tell people what you've done, because they actually can't see the trophies you achieve. It sort of blacks it out, which I
Right.
don't know why I don't know what that's about. Okay, so you got the trophy called Survivor. Survivor is the subtitle there is From Bad to Worse. It is a bronze trophy at 83.61%. It is a very common trophy, and in fact, it is the most commonly achieved trophy. Obviously, it's just a story-based.
Sure.
unmissable trophy.
Yeah, yeah. Like, you got past this part. Congrats.
So you've found the gun. You are now
What?
sort of learning the plot of this game through purely visuals.
Yes.
Clearly, we have an entire colony of these aliens that are being subjugated. But it's interesting because the guards look exactly the same
Right.
as your friends. So I find it interesting they decided to just make it one race that's subjugating itself. Which, you know, obviously humanity, we did this to each other, so it's not
Right.
unheard of. It's just
Right.
interesting they wouldn't visually cue us into a difference.
Yeah.
So the gun has its own set of controls. Tapping X, of course, shoots a generic laser.
Okay.
Holding X until you create a small ball creates a shield in front of you that slowly wears down as it gets hit. And
Oh.
holding X for a significant amount of time will create a power blast that will knock down certain walls. Most of these things that I'm telling you, I did not figure out. I frustratingly just tried and pushed every combo of buttons until finally I looked up a guide that was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm so glad you were here to tell me all this. I never would have figured out any of it. I wouldn't have even gotten past those friggin' leeches.
Yeah.
Speaking of not being able to get past things, I went back and played a little bit more God of War
Okay.
from last week,
Your
and
remastered.
yes, and I got to the part where you are chasing. I don't know how much of it you've played. You've played the whole thing, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so I got to the part where you're chasing one of the guys. What's his name?
One of the gods?
One of the gods, yeah.
Okay.
The one that's
Hermes,
the
maybe, or-
messenger, yeah.
Yeah, Hermes, right?
Shit, yeah, Hermes.
Okay.
But then like you have to like do this like platforming up a thing that's on fire, and I just like I tried it like 6 times, and I was like, no, I'm done. I can't play this anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, we talked about that game, of course, last episode, and please, viewers, go back and take a look. It was interesting commentary, but, you know, it was a good game. We both agreed, but you know, it was difficult to get through some of those puzzle sections, and it definitely it was a head scratcher.
Yeah, for sure.
I do want to congratulate you. You did get a second trophy. It's not the one that I'm requiring, but that trophy was called First Shield. The subtitle is Protect from Lasers. It's really good English everyone's using. At 78.19%, it's also a common trophy, and bronze. However, it is not the trophy that we are looking for.
How do I get past this guy?
So, I have found that going as far to the right as Buddy is, then activating your shield, and then just shooting like mad, and activating your shield again as necessary. If you get too close to the left, he can basically put his gun through your shield.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm also drinking some soda. Trying to be real healthy here.
Soda.
We should talk a little bit about, since we've been getting into Trophy Land, PSNprofiles.com, again, is the aggregator site that I like to use. It's a trophy hunter resource where people compare, guides, the community of people that help each other out. They consider this for us. This game has 0 platinum trophies. It has 1 gold, 3 silver, 9 bronze, for a total of 13 trophies and 315 points. They consider this trophy list to be 2 out of 10 difficulty.
2 out of 10? Okay.
And I have to tell you, I think that 2 out of 10 is based on, oh, here is a guide, follow this guide, 1, 2, 3, 4. I would call this game without a guide a freaking 7 out of 10. You got another trophy. You knocking them out, which is great. This one is called Mega Shoot. The subtitle is Destroy Any Obstacle. At 75.26% common. Excuse me. This is a bronze trophy, but not the one we need. This game is no platinum. You know, I have conversations with you before about platinums in games, and I really feel strongly that game developers should make more of an effort to include a platinum in the game, not just because I like giving trophies and the points, but I really feel like a platinum trophy doesn't need to be reserved for these huge experiences. You know, proper games like this one, I think, can and should get a platinum. Especially because we've seen gimmicky games come out, like little puzzle slide games and shit that are not really games. They're clearly just designed for a quick trophy list. There's no... Sony doesn't dictate. If you tell Sony, I want a platinum, they give it to you. It's frustrating that game developers either don't know this or they don't try.
Oh, so you don't... Yeah, I mean, I've heard that Sony is, like, particular about content in their games, but... I don't know. I don't know how true that is.
The trophy list is much in... I've actually, I've heard other commentary about this, that any pushback to Sony when Sony dictates to you, oh, I think, you know, your trophy list should be this many, that the developers get what they want. You know, it's not difficult to get a platinum in the game, it's just there is no resource available at Sony to allow players to, you know, consult with them about the trophy lists, which is why we see, unfortunately, sort of broken trophies. We see glitched trophies. You know, we see trophy lists that are odd, or you know, you get 1,000 bronze and 1 gold. They don't have any consistency to them, and that brings me to a section of the show I like to call Trophy Yays and Trophy Nays.
I want my gun.
Trophy Nays is... Oh, have you run out of charges?
I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, so the only thing I could think to do was to kill myself. That was the only way I got it to recharge. And it's possible that just over time, it'll recharge itself.
Maybe. I mean, I guess I don't need to kill that guy.
And congratulations on getting another trophy.
Thank you. There's Liz, like bam, bam, bam. Trophy, trophy.
You were doing great. This trophy is called Explorer. The subtitle is Vertigo from Beyond the Grave. at 75.72%. It is again another common trophy. However, this is your first silver trophy of the game. Congratulations.
Oh, yay. Silver.
Not the one we're looking for, but you know, it's nice to get a little extra there. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're gonna have to go back and kill yourself. So I think your best method is to go up and to the left, and you should be able to get that gap or something. And if that doesn't work, you can always hit start, quit the game, and then restart from the checkpoint. Ah, that soda is so good. So, trophy name. Cowboy. The Cowboy trophy is called Cowboy because...
That's funny.
Oh boy.
Anyway.
That's fine. The subtitle is Clint would be proud. This trophy is glitched. You have to kill the guard and shoot out a chandelier. It's more complicated than that, but that's the basic synopsis there. And if you don't accomplish it in the first playthrough, then you have to wait until you beat the game and then choose the menu chapter select and retry the segment. It just has to do with there's a programming glitch and it won't register it, you know, even though it's supposed to. And this kind of thing, it surprises me that it gets past Q&A, first of all. That Sony, at the very minimum, doesn't test to make sure that trophies work. And it is a major problem with indie developers. You know, they have limited resources. They port these games to every single console, and then, you know, there's a glitch, and then they don't have the budget or the desire to go back and fix this thing. So I don't think that this will ever get resolved. Unfortunately, it's not something that is not workaroundable, but you know, it is an issue, so it's frustrating. The trophy yay on this you already received is for Explorer, Vertigo from Beyond the Grave. You get the trophy for looking out the window after riding up an elevator. This is the kind of trophy that I love, that this is a game that has been ported. These are not the original people making this trophy list, and they wanted to reward you for exploring and seeing cinematics that obviously is not intended for everyone to see. So it's a nice way of them appreciating everything the game has to offer, and exploring is a great trophy for that.
Yeah, I did like that trophy. I thought it was good.
Yeah, that was nice. So, yay for them. So, the sequence of events you need to do in this section is, you need to cut the power on the bottom floor, and then as fast as possible go up to the top. Go ahead.
Alright, I'll figure it out. Go ahead.
You just shoot the power box on the bottom floor.
Okay.
And then you'll go back up. That will slow him down because he'll have to blast through all the doors, and you won't need to, you know, you won't get shot by him, because by the time you run all the way to the left, he will not blast through the doors yet. One major complaint I have about this game is it's dated. It's unavoidably dated.
Yeah.
It's from a different era where games punished you. It's not like a Bloodborne, where you know you get a sense of accomplishment and you learn and you get better and you get more skilled. Unfortunately, it's a game that just cruelly punishes you every step of the way. Okay, now run as fast as possible, push down to go down the thing, and keep going, keep going, keep going. Good, good. Up. Yeah, you did good. Now, okay, you may get confused at this point, because I certainly did. You need to really get here with your friend Buddy. You can't leave him behind, because if you do, he won't open the hatch door in that little section for you. This is from an era where there used to be point-and-click adventure games, which this game is a bit like, but in which, you know, you had to collect this key, and this key opened this thing, and if you didn't collect the key and combine it with the goldfish, then, you know, the seagull won't come down and eat the goldfish, and ridiculous things that you would never know or put together. It's just trial and error and just dying. And, you know, I don't remember as a kid enjoying that so much as feeling like it was designed to get you to keep playing the game, because, you know, the only way to ever progress was just to, you know, brute force your way through it. All right. which I really feel like my little speech there is exemplified by a bunch of this bullshit, which is just you just have to get good at this. You just have to just do it again and again and again.
Yeah, like I didn't know that there was a big drop there, so like I just my blood was
And
everywhere.
there's no way. Yeah, there's no way you would know. The game wants you to fail, and then you go, oh, okay, I can't do that. Let's try this other thing.
Yeah.
The game is built on the idea that you're going to die, and you'll learn from each death. But I feel like video games today discourage you from dying. The dying creates a negative feedback loop where you just get frustrated with the game. You don't feel like you're making progress. You feel like you're dumb. And I feel like games have appropriately moved away from that and instead signal, oh, you're supposed to go this way. You see how that ledge is painted white? Go
Right.
that way. Or,
Right.
oh, you can see that gap in the distance or there's a pattern and you're going to learn it. Games do a great job of that today. Overall, I mean, there were stinkers out there, of course.
Sure.
But this comes from an era totally different. And how does it feel going back to this? I mean, are you frustrated? I was frustrated.
I'm definitely getting frustrated, and it's like
Yeah.
the weird thing is like there's no, especially in this part, obviously where they don't want you to be able to see, and like I can't tell like where the spray bit comes, and then I get down here before it comes, and then I'm in its way, but that it feels like it doesn't spray. See, now I'm just waiting for it. It doesn't spray until I get close enough to it, but then I'm too close,
Yep.
and it
Yep.
hits me.
Yeah, it's frustrating. I guess it's supposed to be steam, but hot steam.
Well,
or
yeah,
something.
yeah.
Yeah. This game it requires patience. It requires. It would be helpful if you had an appreciation for the game back when you were younger, back in the 90s. Maybe played the 15th anniversary edition on Windows. Maybe you have some experience with this. Then great, you may enjoy coming back to this. But if you don't, if this is your first time experiencing this, it may be a novelty going back to an SNES Amiga game.
Yeah.
But it may not be too fun if you're not patient as fuck.
Yeah, and maybe there's something to be said about this, like, games today teach us to be like, I don't know, we have like instant gratification needs and like whatever, like things to be said about our impatience as a society or, just weird things like that, but also this is annoying.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I found myself with the desire to slam my control down, and I'm not that kind of person. I don't.
Yeah,
think
I know you're not.
And I was like, I can't, and I really felt an obligation for the show to get far enough that I felt like I could at least speak to what this game is in the later stages. And this is not a knock on you. I mean, it really is not. But I'm not sure you're gonna get past this part. And part of that meant I had to choose a trophy that is doable. And so I don't normally spoil this, but everything that you do is working towards the trophy goal. So don't be discouraged that this episode is never going to end because you were doing the correct thing to end this torture.
That's good to know.
So let's talk a little bit about our main character.
Okay.
He showed up in a Ferrari GT80.
Yes.
288 GTO, I mean. It was a car that was produced from 1984 to 1987. It was a very expensive sports car at the time. I think the implication that they are giving to this character is that, he's a hot shit scientist who, is reckless and he caused this by not following the correct precautions, which is not a archetype that I've ever known in any form of media, but okay. And I love that the car is so dated because the development of this game would have happened in '89, is when that original, sort of car would have been put into this. And just, I love the idea that it's like, no, this is like legitimately, I think this guy's dream car is this 2-3-year-old, Ferrari. Yay! Okay, so congratulations on getting to the city component of the game. Each section is sort of marked off as its own thing. you got another trophy. That trophy is for... That's not the name of the trophy. That's me singing to distract you for time. The trophy is called...
Warrior.
Yeah, Warrior. You get it for arming to the teeth at 68.15%. It's another common trophy. And bronze. Arming to the teeth, I think, just means recharging your weapon.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure that area just, it recharges you.
Oh, right, because I have to shoot through these walls, right?
Right.
I'm like, where do I go? Forgetting that I can shoot through things.
You know, and as a kid, I played the Carmen Sandiego, Mario types, and I played Myst,
Yes.
which is a completely different game. I mean, let's not even come close. But Myst was another game in which it was so obtuse. Every puzzle, everything you did, you felt like, okay, what am I trying to accomplish here? And you know, again, it feels like you're brute forcing your way into the answer. Now, Myst, you could argue, you know, if you were intelligent, you'd figure it out and da-da-da. Here, I think less so. Here, I think it really is just try this path, you'll fail, and then try a different path. But it's that era of gaming in which they wanted you to stay with the game for a long time because they wanted you to get your money's worth, and we just don't have that experience today. I mean, it's just totally different in the world. It's fascinating. It's a fascinating, like, archaeological discovery to go back to this game, and I appreciate that it exists, it's been remastered, and that we can go back to this. Should we is going to be the ultimate question. Common praise and criticism. This game does a great job of telling a story with no dialogue.
Yes.
I shrug. I mean, sure, you know what we generally are. Teleporter mishap. I wouldn't say that's a great story, but we haven't gotten that far. And common criticism is that it doesn't hold up to modern gaming conventions. In particular, the controls are difficult to master.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say that they're difficult to master. They just aren't obvious.
Yeah. There's that one game, I believe it's called QWERTY, Q-U-E-R-T-Y, which you control a character just walking with those key buttons, but each one controls like one of his, appendages, and the character looks like it's just flopping around all the time because it's ridiculous. The character has no musculature to hold himself up, so it's comical because it just, it's like you're just flopping around, and it's so frustratingly hard. And of course, it's not that bad, but you do feel like this guy is not how a human being would walk. I mean, like, just when you stay still, like, your leg is up in like a position as if, you can blast that wall.
This one? Oh, I just have to hold it.
Yeah. The sound effects in this game, for those that are listening to the music and sound effects, were influenced by the Star Wars franchise. Because the original, of course, which is when this game would have been inspired by, which is fascinating. This is like, hey, you see that new film Star Wars? Yeah, it's like that. And also the soundtrack, all the music was inspired by Robert Zemeckis' title Back to the Future.
Nice.
Which would have been Alan Silvestri who did that. So this is Back to the Future inspired music. It's exciting for me. The game was originally called Out of This World in the original North American release. And that was done to avoid confusion with the soap opera series Another World.
Another World,
So
yeah.
he wanted it to be called Another World. There was a soap opera series which was relatively popular called Another World, and so instead they opted for Out of This World. Unfortunately, when the game was released, a sci-fi sitcom called Out of This World aired the same year. So he did not avoid the problem. And that, my friend, is every little note that we need to sort of rush through through. I normally spread it out a little bit. We're 40 minutes in, and I'm not sure how much time we have left until you get the trophy that's required. You certainly have experienced every conceivable death I can think of. Other than dying of ennui, I'm not sure what other options we have. So I guess you talk to me a bit. What are your impressions of what you're doing? Are you having fun? Are you bemused by what this game was?
I mean, I was amused with like the idea of it, but now I'm just kind of annoyed. Like, I like the whole like there's no dialogue, you have to figure out what's going on. But then like also, I don't care. Like I just don't care about this person. I don't care about his plight. I don't care about him.
Right. I guess that's very fair. What do you think about this game being offered as one of the free titles for the PS3? And of course, that also meant we got to touch it as a PS4 owner because of crossplay. Do you think that this is something that, as a if you owned a PS3 only, if you were, counting on these games, would this be one that you're like, okay, I'm cool with this, or would this annoy you, or what? What would your talk to me?
If I was a PS3 owner, I would be annoyed if this was one of the, in the last like 5 months of the PS Plus being offered, that it would be one of the ones that they gave to me. Like I just feel like that's annoying.
I completely agree with you, and I remember knowing that the service is ending in February. I really feel that Sony should be good guys, and they should release some killer PS3 titles. I mean, they should just hit us hard with the Sony PS3 exclusives, and I don't understand why they're going to let this die with a whimper. It seems like such a cop-out to be like, well, we're discontinuing the service because no one's really using it anymore, but for them to be like, thus you get this. I don't want to call this crap. It's not crap. It's a thing that I'm sure people enjoy, and you can get to it later. But this is not the title that anyone was looking forward to getting.
Mm-mm.
So I find that to be an interesting choice by Sony. Yeah. Oh dear.
I'm just like falling down all the holes now. I don't even care.
Oh my god, you've been impaled by so many stalagmites? Is it a stalagmite or stalactite? Which one is the one from the ground?
The mites are the ones from the ground.
Nice.
Because tights have to hold on tight.
That is adorable.
Yeah.
What can I say? We're two geology experts here.
That's literally the only thing I know about geology.
You've exhausted your resource. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
So really, we're just chilling with Ferrari owning scientist here.
Yeah.
Get impaled by as many different sticks as possible. I do see we've gone back to the remastered version of the game.
Yeah, I like to switch between them. I think it's interesting. I like the look of the cave better.
I agree with you. I think the cave was the most useful for the remaster. I mean, it's so obvious the difference, and it feels like, oh wow, why didn't you do this to the levels? The levels didn't really do much to enhance it.
Yeah, I don't know. It just adds this like really cool depth.
Yeah. So good job, gamers. Not gamers, developers. We're the gamers.
Oh, that was dumb. Now I'm stuck. Oh no. Yep, now I'm stuck. Guess I gotta die.
Ruh-roh.
Okay.
If you managed to get stuck on the geometry in this game, oh my god. So you weren't stuck there. You could have jumped over those spikes and continued to the right.
I've tried jumping over them. I always land on them. I'll try
I'm not
again.
trying. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about this game. I mean, are you having fun at all?
Not Not particularly.
Yeah,
Oh.
this is one of those games that's like, thank you, Sony, for this experience. And me to get crushed by a rock, it's like, son of a bitch. That's what I'm talking about. You make the slightest improvement, and then you die again. And it's like, I mean, at least the checkpoints are not so awful. Like, you don't never ever too far for a checkpoint. But they're annoying enough that it's like, I don't want to have to do this. There's another jumping segment later on, which it didn't matter how, it was so frustrating, I just died over and over and over.
Yeah, it's like that. What was that game? Oh my god. Hue, right?
Hue, yeah.
I was just like,
Hue was an excellent game to compare this to. We had a very modern, new indie title. That was a platforming game, that was a puzzle game, and it had all the modern capabilities of the game, but when you break it down those core elements, this is what this was. You know, a platforming action-adventure game. And you would agree that Hue did it better, right? I mean, Hue has many years under its belt of gaming history and giants to stand on, so you know, it's unfair to compare the two, but it is interesting to look and compare them as far as oh dear. Frustrating, right?
I mean, it's just humorous.
Yeah, but you died a lot in Hue too. It's not like you didn't die, but do you remember feeling that sense of frustration with Hue?
The only time I was really super frustrated with it was that underwater part. I feel like there was an underwater part or something. Yeah, that was the only time that I felt like, okay, I'm gonna give up on this game.
Or was that Forma 8?
Oh, that was Forma 8. You're right. You're right. You're right. Yes. That's the game where I felt like, yeah, I'll just give up on this part.
Yeah. Forma 8 was unnecessarily difficult at parts. And it's frustrating when you die and you're like, I've already been past this part. I don't want to die here. The difference between Hue and between this title, and again, it's not but it's something, is that Hue it wasn't relentless in that every single frame could kill you and you had to have perfect timing. And Hue had large segments which were just fun to play through, or breaks in it. And this game has no breaks. It's just one nightmare room after another.
Yes. I'm always like, okay, what's waiting for me?
Yeah. Yeah, and when you finally hit a checkpoint, which you're not aware of until you die,
right?
It is nice.
Yeah.
Because you feel like, okay, well, at least they made some progress, but it's frustrating when you get to the, the end of a section and you're still going back and I would say you and I, puzzle platformer is sort of and this is the proto version of that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we're having much fun.
No, they've gotten much better over the years. I'll tell you that.
But hats off to the originators. Hats off to the people who made these strides so that we could have amazing titles in the future. If it wasn't for this, if it wasn't for the inspiration this game provided, we probably would not have so many titles. When you think about even just Ratchet and Clank, that is a platforming game. That has its roots in games like this.
Yep. I mean, someone's got to pave the way,
Yeah. And it's you being crushed in the head by rocks hundreds of times.
I'm literally paving, literally my body is paving the way.
Every game you play is with the skull of many alternate Laurens. So I can tell you what the trophy is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So the trophy that we're going after, called Determination, you get for dying 50 times.
Oh my god, the fucking plant!
This section, I hate. But at least you're further along. The official game guide on how to get all these trophies, it's amusing. Their official recommendation for how to do this trophy is just go into a room with an obstacle and just kill yourself over and over and over again. It should take you about 2 minutes. I love trophy hunters. Sometimes they miss the point. And that's fine. That's weird. Obviously, the intention of this trophy is supposed to be like, don't give up. You're supposed to die. Okay.
Right.
We talked about, I love that trophy. I think it's great. 50 seems like such a crazy high number. But honestly, I got the trophy naturally. I was like, and once I got it, I was like, you know what? I'm actually good. Instead of feeling like an incentive, it felt like, that's enough torture now. I don't feel like you're mocking me.
But why? Do you see where I am?
Yes. Oh gosh.
Apparently this is not the way to go.
Well, there was a bat in the previous room. You could hit the bat will fly into the other thing, and then you can jump onto this tower to get back to where you're going. But you need to accomplish something in the far right room first, otherwise it's pointless to go back. It's a time to jump. I died so many times. I can't even begin to tell you how many times I died. It's like jump, and you think it's too soon to jump, but it's not. It's like jump, jump, jump. Walking, right? To do running, but I think your ways were better. So you can shoot those things, and they retract temporarily.
Oh, but you have to be like further away.
Well, yeah, but the other one's in the other room. You can get up close. This one is this one you don't need to worry about. It's comical, isn't it? I know. Yeah, I think you're supposed to just shoot all run at it.
I keep forgetting which button is which because like X isn't jump in this game, so.
I know, it's weird.
Like I'm not used to X being shoot. Oh, are you kidding me? Well, did I run out of chart? Oh no. Oh, the ground one got me.
While we wait for your 50 lives to
Yes.
let's talk a little bit more about Halloween and playing some horror games.
Sure.
I love horror. I love horror movies. I love scary stories. I love reading them before going to bed and then sleep because I'm an idiot who read this scary story. And I love scary video games. I think they're great. I love being frightened. I love that tenseness you feel in your chest when you just have no idea what's going on in the corner. You know, because of PSVR, I have gotten the chance to play a lot of horror titles on the show, and you know, if you go back and listen, I'm very eloquent in every single one.
Oh yeah.
My head off.
Yep.
But I love that sense of being afraid, and I'm just curious, you know, how do you do with horror generally? Are you excited for Halloween? And what do you think of the Halloween title we're going to be playing next time?
So I love wearing costumes and dressing up.
Nice.
And
That room has nothing in it yet.
yet.
But it's good you cleared it. It's good that you opened it.
What do I do?
Go back.
I have to go back now?
Mm-hmm.
Oi.
I know.
But I hate being scared. I hate feeling tension in my gut. I hate, like, my shoulders hunched up and, like, no, I don't like. I do not like.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny to watch you because I think you do get more like viscerally upset by it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. There's something about Halloween that it's always attracted me. Excuse me. Even in my youth, like I always felt it's a fun holiday. It wasn't just the dressing up, which was a big component of it. I love seeing somebody else and playful and all of society playing along with you. I really liked it.
Mm-hmm.
There's also the idea that you allowed yourself to maybe go to some darker places, and not like dark like evil, but like just having fun with the idea that we do scare ourselves. We are afraid of the dark, we are afraid of the unknown, and it's fun to explore those things a little and not be so afraid of them. And it's interesting. I'm going to go on a weird kind of social rant, so I apologize to anyone who may disagree with this, but I feel like Americans are really stepping away from the tradition of Halloween. I feel like we're less likely to allow our kids to go in the neighborhood and go trick-or-treating. We're less likely to embrace, witches and vampires and stuff. And we're more likely to be like, I don't know, who's popular right now? Hannah Montana? How old am I? The point is it's more about just an extension of like Hollywood and what's popular and the Avengers and that more than it's about something that I think it was before, which was allowing your kids to be kind of a little mischievous, a little bit darker.
Yeah, I mean, I do see that, like, definitely a lot of things, and I feel like this also has to go with, like, capitalism and the commercialization of everything, like,
yeah.
Kids see superheroes and they want to dress like superheroes. You don't see movies where witches are, the thing that you want to be, unless you're watching, like, what's that one with the witches?
With Bette Midler and
well, no, not that Hocus Pocus, not that one. The one that's like with the oh my gosh, I don't know. Never mind. I don't know what I'm saying. That's the show, but there's like a movie. Coven, maybe, or I don't know what I'm talking
Coven,
about.
but that's kind of an older movie at this point.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying, like in our day, those were the things we were watching. These are the things that we grew up with. Now, kids don't, like, are there movies where, like, Disney is Disney so much, like, the witches are all bad in Disney movies, you don't see good witches.
That's true.
And, like, who wants to dress up like Ursula? No one.
Some poor listener is like slowly putting down their Ursula costume in disappointment.
No, I mean, I would love it if someone dressed up like Ursula. My point is that kids don't want to do that.
Yeah. What are you going to dress as this year? Do you know yet? Are you dressing at all? Do you have a reason to dress?
I don't have any plans currently. The neighborhood that I live in, they do a parade on the Friday before.
Oh, cool.
So I might go to that. And also I just like wearing costumes. So I'm probably gonna be D.Va from Overwatch.
Oh, cool.
How have I not died 50 times?
I was gonna say, like, it feels like you died 50 times, but I guess not.
I definitely feel like I've died 50 times. What about you, Tony? Are you dressing up for Halloween?
Well, I have dressed up every single Halloween since I was a kid. Like, I've never missed a year.
Yeah.
Even if I didn't have any plans, I still dressed up and kind of walked around.
Right.
You and I used to live in New York, and in New York, Halloween is a night parade. Everyone in their 20s and 30s is out at a party. It's just a thing. And it's not about so much the kids trick-or-treating, because in New York City, they go to businesses, so you don't do that whole aspect. I have not lived in the South. I don't know if trick-or-treating is a thing. I don't know if candy ready. Like I have no idea, and I know it depends on what neighborhood, so I'll find out and I'll report back. But I kind of feel bummed out that I don't have like a party to go to, and then I'm like, well, should I throw my own party? I would love to do that, but I don't really know that many people, and I want to be like, hi, new neighbor, come to my party. This is the first interaction we're having. I'm gonna be dressed up as Captain America. You know, that's very weird. Which I think it's weird.
Niceys. I thought I had made it. Oh, now I'm all the way back here. Yeah, I will say the first year that I lived here in the South, I lived in a house. So we did get trick-or-treaters. And no one else was home. Like, I lived with my sister and the boyfriend she had at the time. And it was his house. And they were in Aruba on vacation. And I was the only person home. And it was so much fun. Because, like, I never really had trick-or-treaters before. Growing up, I lived in the middle of the woods. We didn't get trick-or-treaters. We had to go either to other neighborhoods to trick-or-treat, or when we were real young, because we didn't really have a lot of friends or whatever, we would go to the mall and go to businesses.
Oh, cool.
And so, like, you know, in New York, people don't trick-or-treat in the apartment buildings, really. Like, that's not a thing. And, like, yeah, so, like, I really just, it was the first year I really had trick-or-treaters, and it was fun. It was fun, let me tell you.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I look forward to seeing what it's like for me this year, and we'll see. I'll put on a costume.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what easy video game costume could I do. I'll be Cloud from Final Fantasy. Giant blonde spiky hair, giant sword. You know, whatever I gotta do to explain myself to the community. So it's this one that's giving you problems? No.
No, it was the previous one. Oh. Don't put me at the cave. Okay, phew.
Oh, sorry. That's funny. I love it that way.
I know, I was like, oh, this one, I can just walk.
Now I'm pretty sure my thing has to do with the Blood Cave, which I don't think it's until the next room. I think you're good to go ahead and jump across the thing. Yeah. You can jump. Once the door is even. Yeah. Okay, cool. Oh. It didn't let you... Oh, maybe you have to blast it first, and then you can jump on it? I'm unclear on this part. I think you have to blast the stalactite.
Oh, up top, you mean? Oh, do I have to run through these fucking boxes? What if I die?
Where is this infinite supply of hollow knots even fucking coming from?
Yeah, right? You'd think they'd run out of them eventually.
I mean, it should be crushed under the weight of this clearly unstable cave.
No. Oops.
Anything?
No, nothing happened.
Could you just continually blast it, maybe? Because I know this is the way you're supposed to do.
In front of me.
I know this is where you're supposed to go.
Okay.
I know it.
Okay. So if I just...
Nothing. I mean, the blast does seem to be doing something, doesn't it? Or no?
No.
Okay, what if you jump and hold up when you actually hit the stalactite?
Oops, it helps if you jump. Fucking X not being jump in this game.
If any viewers happen to know how to get doing back to the original area, we would love your assistance.
Okay, so run. Ah! Oh, yep, there we go.
Pushing up allowed you to do it?
Yeah. I think I just had to run and jump so that I had like the more oomph when I jumped. So I went further.
Okay, so now you've made it back to this dumbass area. Hit the thing, go back up, and flood that room again like you did the first time. But this time you're going to need to Indiana Jones action your way back through and jumping over all the little holes while the water is flooding towards you.
Great.
Good luck with
Sounds
that shit.
doable.
Yeah. But hey, the good news is if you die another, I don't know, 10 times, you'll get the trophy. Are you sure you haven't gotten the trophy yet?
I have not gotten a trophy.
Okay, it seems unusual. I mean, you kind of died a lot.
I know I have. I'm surprised. Like, why don't I have this thing?
I think I got it after the, 50-something minute mark. I finally got the trophy, just from natural gameplay. I was like, oh my god. Excuse me, the yawn was exactly what I was like. I was like, oh thank god, it's done.
Oh, there's water down that hole too?
Well, there's water down every hole when it fills up.
Yeah.
At least you start.
Ah, I forget that there's a... Oh, determination! Trophy earned!
You did the thing.
I did
it. Was the thing
it.
you did. You died at 50
I died a lot.
What an accomplishment. A spooky accomplishment for October.
So spooky.
This is the most fun dying we've ever had in a
I
video
know,
game show.
really, it is. That's true.
So, Lauren, you've played the game. You've gotten the trophy. It's time for a segment we're calling the Metacritic Review Game. Here's how we play. First, you give me what you would rate this game out of 100 and why. Then I'll read to you the highest and lowest critic ratings without the numbers they were assigned. Then you tell me if you think your score will be higher or lower than Metacritic average. And finally, we'll reveal if you went higher or lower. Are you ready to critique?
Yes, I am.
Give me a score from 0 to 100. How amazing was this game?
This game was 60 amazings.
60. Whole 60 amazings. And what's your justification for 60 whole amazings?
I think that, okay, being however old this game is.
91, so that puts it at 27 years old.
27, okay. So it's 9 years younger than me. I was 9 when this video game came out. That being the case, okay, they've done a really good job remastering it.
Mm-hmm.
It's, for the type of game that it is, it was enjoyable, but, it was friggin' frustrating, and there was no, this button does this thing, this button does that. It's just, you had to figure it out, I guess. I don't know, that was kind of frustrating.
Yeah.
But I can't really see myself playing this for, extended periods of time, or even wanting to come back to it. Or
Yeah, you think you're probably done with it.
Yeah, this one I'm probably done with.
Well, let's see how the Metacritic reviewers agree or disagree with you. On the high end, the Gaming Nexus said the following of the game. Another World is one of the most important video games of all time. Starting the ball rolling for cinematic action games with emotional stories, and it has never looked better than it does on the PlayStation 4. Sadly, the game's short-lived and bare-bones package keeps this from being a must-own, but the low asking price and three-way cross-buy may make Another World 20th Anniversary Edition worth considering. Games Master UK said the following of Another World. It has aged terribly. These two reviews, what do we think? Has Metacritic gone higher or lower than you have?
I think they've gone higher. Higher. I think they've gone higher.
Higher. And you are incorrect. They went lower. They went at 53 when you gave it a 60.
Wow.
So you were more optimistic about this game. So what a good soul you are. And before we go to the last segment, I need to point out that you, Lauren, have broken the cardinal rule of our show.
I didn't mean to.
By achieving another trophy, Escape Water, which you get for being quite a sprinter at 59.75%. It is a common trophy and a bronze. Not only is it not the trophy we were looking for, but it is one extra trophy, and the entire show is dismantling at your mistake.
Aww, I'm sorry.
While you feel bad about yourself and hopefully, review your life choices, let's go to the final segment called nothing. We don't call it anything. We call it, is it worth downloading? Here's some data to keep in mind before we give our final judgment from howlongtobeat.com. I think the main story would be 2.5 hours. To do the main story and all the extra content would be 2.5 hours. To complete the game and get every single trophy, it'll take you 3 hours to do so. At a disk size of 406.69 megabytes and a price tag normally $7.99, what do you think, Lauren? Is it worth downloading? I don't even want anything else. That's perfect. That's a perfect reaction to this game. It is like, yeah, it's fine. I'm sure it was great back then when there was fucking no games to offer, and it was like, a masterpiece of its time and engaging and interesting and cinematic, and did it influence every other game? Yeah, it did. But we have all those other games now.
Yeah.
That are like polished and well done, and this game does not hold up. But I can appreciate it, and it's playable, but whatever.
Oh my god. It's like anytime you think you're getting somewhere, there's a guy with a gun.
I know.
Story of my life.
That was the area with the glitch trophy, by the way.
Which?
Yeah. I mean, okay, it's a teeny tiny little bit of memory. I mean, obviously you need to buy the game. If you own it, the console, put it in your library. You would have to be very bored to download this, in my opinion, despite it being a tiny footprint. I don't know. If you have some nostalgic reason to go back to this, yeah, they did a great job remastering what I'm sure is the original experience. But if you're new to this,
Yeah, I agree. Not worth it.
You know what the best thing about the show is, Lauren?
What?
Because of the random nature of PS Plus titles, it's like every week we get to enter another world.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
After you finish groaning, can you tell us where people can find us?
So people can find me at 2 gamers, 1 trophy. No, that's not right. Well, they can. They actually can. That is true. They can find me on PlayStation Network as Caustic Sofa. And they can find us on YouTube at 2 gamers, 1 trophy. That's the numeral 2 and the numeral 1. And you are Paradox on the PSN. That's P-A-I-R-O-D-O-C-S. A Paradox.
I love it. I love you struggled and you died a couple times, but you got through it.
Yes. Yes.
You're doing anything interesting in real life you'd like to tell anybody about?
I have a craft show that I'm doing on the 13th, which is next week, Saturday. It's here in Norfolk. It's at O'Connor Brewing, and it's from 12 to 6. And you can find me. I make perler bead art, so 8-bit whatever pixel stuff, and I crochet, and I'll have that stuff for sale. It's also just a brewery. There's good beer. Come out, have a nice time. Yeah.
And I've got nothing going in real life, but if you are rocking out still on Spider-Man, you can compare trophies with me because I am working my way towards the platinum.
Cool.
That's happening soon. And other than that, I guess I just want to thank everyone for watching, commenting, and otherwise interacting with us. It's been a delight to share the world of PS Plus with everyone, and a quick thank you for our title music provided by Seal Hair. You can find more of his work on Spotify. Next Thursday, we're playing Friday the 13th, the game. Join us live here on Twitch Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time.
Great. We'll see you all then. Sorry I broke the rules of our contract here by earning an extra trophy, but I didn't know it would happen. I swear it. So I know. Okay, well, see more of The Curse next week, Thursday, 7 p.m. Bye.